this weekend, we also had the WXV tournament. That is the women's, basically their version of the Nations Cup, happening this past weekend. USA Rugby took on Scotland for this week. I think it's safe to say that we have a team that is growing. USA would lose this game 14-24. That being said, this Scotland team, I said it last week, it's a veteran team. They got players that play in the Premiership. They don't play, but honestly, the score is a lot further than what the actual game was. I think in the first half, Scotland really jumped out to the score and really showed who they were. But I said this young team is grown. This USA team is legitimately growing into something that could be very, very special over the course of the next 2 years as we get ready for the next Rugby World Cup in 2025. And honestly, we got two scores by Charlie Jacoby and Paige Stathanopoulos, led by Kate Zachary and Kate Benson. Like, this young team has energy. Like, they're not quitting. They still need to work a little bit on their kicking. They got to get their passing fluidity and really shore up their defensive lines. But that, again, comes with the experience. The more games they get to play, the more it's going to end up working out in their favor. This WXV tournament, I think, is actually pretty spectacular, though it's limited to 18 teams. But it's actually good for the women's play because we really needed more games underneath our belt. Like, we've won 5 games in 3 years out of 15 games. So now 16 games. So getting this new wave and getting them newly excited, I think, makes a big difference for what we can expect for this women's team going on forward. Now, again, they got a tough game coming up next against Italy. But let me kind of go over some of the scores that we have from this WXV because it's really important to know about what's going to happen. So one thing that we know with the WXV tournament is that there is three tiers: WXV 1, Division 1, 2, and 3. Division 1 is not getting any relegation. Nobody's moving in and out of that one for the next at least 2 years, if I remember correctly. They're not moving out of it until the next 2 years. Again, it's whack, but I also get it when it comes to the business side of it. You really want to make sure that you can, show what for the sponsors what you have, and then begin to start shifting teams in and out. This week, England took on Australia, beat them 42-7. Canada took on Wales, beating them 42-22. And New Zealand took on France, losing to France 18-17, which, again, all really powerful 15s teams. I'm actually surprised about New Zealand, but I'm assuming a lot of their players, because I didn't look at their roster, are still prepping for the Olympics. So their speed backs aren't really in the game like that. So it's not the Black Ferns as we know it. England and Canada, I mean, their 15s teams are really locked, as well as their 7s. For WXV 2 and 3, for WXV 2, obviously talked about USA losing to Scotland 14-24. Italy beating South Africa 36-18, which actually was a remarkably good game. I'm really impressed with South Africa. And Japan beating Samoa 32-10. Talking about what we have to do leading into this this next level for WXV. I said before, the first division isn't moving anything in relegation, but divisions 2 and 3 have relegation existing. So the way relegation works for the second division, the 6th place team is going to be automatically relegated down to the 3rd place, down to Division 3, and the Division 3 number 1 team gets relegated up into Division 2. In this situation, you actually have Samoa and South Africa playing against each other for bottom of the division. Who's going to end up getting it? Honestly, it's their last game, so it's great that they already have it set up because not all the teams are playing against each other in their division, which I also think is a little bit weird. But, I guess it's early, But Samoa and South Africa actually play really, really similarly. If you take a look at their highlights, they're both smack you in the mouth thick teams. They aren't really great at passing, and they don't have great conditioning, but they're going to hit you hard, and they're going to move the ball, and they can grind the ball out. So this one's going to be, actually, I think this might be one of the more exciting games to watch, not just because of the stakes for them, but simply because it might be the rawest version of what you want from rugby, which is just smash mouth, hard nosed rugby. Ain't no big amounts of kicking going to be happening out of this one. Ain't no, major passing strategy. This is going to be smash, shoulders on shoulders, grinding it out games. But what's going to be even more interesting is what the outcome of Division 3 is going to be. Ireland and Spain take the top of Division 3. They both have 2 wins. Ireland has the bonus point based off of score. But if Spain is able to get the win plus the bonus point, they're moving up into Division 1. Ireland obviously will get that if they end up winning this game. I was surprised that Ireland and Spain actually were put into Division 2 in this situation, because they've been pretty prominent teams in 15s. They've been fairly competitive in the Rugby World Cup. Spain has been developing its team piece by piece over time, starting with 7s and really seeing themselves kind of shift around within 15s, almost similar to what Portugal has done for the men's side. This one, I think, is going to be an interestingly set game. Ireland definitely has the favor on it, and I actually think that Ireland will win this game. But, man, it's going to be a close one. I don't think it's going to be as entertaining as Samoa and South Africa, but I definitely do think that it's going to be one to watch. In terms of the USA, their game against Italy, it's almost like you're not even going to have to worry. Like, whether the USA wins or loses, they're going to stay in Division 2. Italy definitely is going to be the favorite in this. Again, that's a fast team. They're similar to Scotland, except for I think they're actually faster, probably better conditioned than Italy is. But, better conditioned than Scotland is. But I think it's still going to be a good game. But honestly, it doesn't actually matter that much. Italy can't relegate up into Division 1, and USA is going to be stuck in the middle, just being able to build experience. So it's not the biggest, heaviest game to pay attention to. So I don't think it super matters all that much. So that's all we got in terms of our score recaps for this week. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely, you can hit the comments. Even check us out on Instagram live at Rugby Swag. You can catch us in the comments. Obviously, here, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your opinions. And obviously, we got more to talk about. But before we do, man, let's get back and let's after this commercial break.
I ain't convinced.